Hope everyone's having a good day. Just want to take a couple minutes to talk about tax planning. One of the things I was talking to one of my shops about this morning. So, this year's been really good for a lot of people. The shop I was just talking to earlier today is about doubled the net income through August compared to what he did all of last year. Obviously, net income is a good thing. Everyone's here to make more money. That's why we're in business. But what comes along with making money? Obviously, paying taxes. So we'd like to pay as least amount of taxes legally possible, but realistically, you should be at a point in your business where you can't get rid of all the taxes. But we need to make sure that we're doing smart things to minimize it as much as we possibly can. People always come to me and say, "Hey, Hunt, what do we need to do? What are the rich people doing? What are Jeff Bezos doing to save money?" And we won't even talk about any aggressive strategies. I'll cut to the chase on that. Most of the stuff that they're doing is way, way, way above anything that we would ever see or would really be utilized in our situations here. But the number one best thing out there that we can do is get a retirement account set up. So many people that I talk to, they're like, "Hey, Hunt, I want to save money on taxes," and they're doing absolutely nothing for retirement. Now, if you're sitting here watching this video and you said, "Okay, I'm maxed out my retirement," then you're doing the number one thing out there that all self-employed people should be doing. If you're sitting here thinking, "Hey, I have no retirement," let's talk about why we like it so much and why we get such a big benefit out of it. So I won't bore you guys with the different types of retirement accounts. Maybe that's for another day. We got traditional IRAs done outside the business, just personally. We got simple IRAs and 401ks. Both of those are done inside the business. Now, a lot of people think of tax planning and they think about, well, Hunt, I'll go out and buy a piece of equipment, right? Been looking at that new AC machine, been looking at the ADAS machine, maybe I'll replace some lifts. All of those things will save us taxes, right? But we're gonna have to spend money on it. So the example I like to give is, let's say I have $10,000 to spend right now. Should I go out and buy a piece of equipment that I might or might not need? I'm just really doing it for tax savings? Or would I be better off taking that money and putting it into my simple IRA or 401k? And so for that example, for $10,000 spent, if I go out and I replace a lift for $10,000, rough numbers, I'll save about $2,500 in taxes. So I spent the $10,000, I'm gonna get $2,500 back in tax savings. Still, it cost me $7,500 to do. I'm out that money. Now, if I decided, hey, I'm gonna take that same $10,000 and put it into my simple IRA, I didn't actually lose any of that money, right? So I took $10,000 out of my payroll, out of my business, and put it into my simple IRA. I still have that money. Now, depending on your age, it might be a little bit till you can touch that, but we didn't lose any of that money. We still have all of that cash to grow and hopefully grow as much as we can once we hit retirement age. But that $10,000 is also a tax deduction for me. And so I just turned $10,000 into about $12,000 or $13,000 once we factor in I still have that cash and I'm getting a tax deduction on that for this year. And so that's one thing that people don't realize a lot is, how important having a retirement account is. If your income's at a level that you can afford it, you should be maxing out your retirement every single year. It is the best deduction out there. We're literally getting money for putting money in our own pocket, right? There's nothing else out there that can really match up with that. If you've already maxed out your 401k, if you've already maxed out your simple IRA, then you're doing a lot of the easy things, and it's not as simple as that. If you were in a 401k and you wanted to go even higher, there's other options to look at on that. There's profit sharing plans, there's defined contribution plans, there's cash balance plans. There's a lot of things that you can do. We have clients that are saving $200,000, $300,000 a year by putting this money into a 401k. So just something to think about. Hopefully that was informative. Hopefully that kind of shared a little bit of idea on why we like retirement plans and why we think that's such a good option. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.